What's up, everybody? Phil back here on Phil's Farm Toy channel. Another look at another Ertl 1/16 scale tractor. Let's bring on some more mean green, guys. Let's look at this box first. And here's the box for the John Deere 4960 tractor. Front wheel assist. This tractor was made by Ertl in 1992. As you can tell, the box has a little wear, but I would say for overall, for a box that is quickly approaching 30 years old, it's could be in a lot worse shape, honestly. But I always like these boxes myself. The cardboard box with the folding flaps, and it held the tractor very securely in there. Nowadays they tie everything down and it's in a plastic shell inside of the box, and which is cool, but sometimes I think it's overkill. But then I think, well, the Prestige line I paid $80 to $100 at least for, so maybe it's all right if they take those extra precautions. But I remember back then, in this time and age, these were the standard how all the tractors came in this box, so this type of a box. All right, let's move on to the star of the show, the John Deere 4960. All right, everybody, and I'm back, and here is the Ertl 1/16 scale John Deere model 4960 with front wheel assist. I think they only put this model out as like this and with the front wheel assist. I don't recall them doing it any other way. I think there was a 4760 they released. I think it had front wheel assist and big fat tires, single tires on the back, I think. I'm pretty sure. But I had this tractor previous when I collected way back in the day in the 90s when I was collecting. I had this tractor then, and we cut the axle and spaced the duals out. We used to do a little bit of playing around with the tractors like that to make them more realistic looking. Thankfully nowadays most of the tractors come with the dual already spaced, so you don't have to try to tinker with that at all. I know a lot of people still will take their tractors and do customs. That stuff's awesome. I just don't have the skill or probably the time to do that, because I work about 6 days a week every week. So yeah, and I do that to help for my hobby here. If I wasn't working all them hours, I probably wouldn't be having nearly as much in my collection. So that's why I do a lot of that, is to afford me and my lady the chance to go out and have fun on the weekends if we can. You know, we like to go to the movies, and I like to spend my money on this. My extra money anyway. But it's a nice tractor. Like I said, made in 1992 by Ertl. The real tractor from tractordata.com said it was produced from 92 through 94. 210 PTO horsepower tested. It's a pretty powerful tractor. In the 60 series, this was the top tractor, the 4960. So it's a pretty nice tractor. I'm my neighbor when I grew up, not when I was a kid, but in my older years, like 20s, 30s. My mom and dad's neighbor was a John Deere man, and he had one of these, and it's a really nice big old tractor, I thought. This toy is pretty much what you would think when you think of Ertl in the 90s. The hitch on the back there is pretty standard, that flat bar with the round hole. As far as the back here, there's not a lot of detail. I mean, it's all molded into the casting, nothing separate. It has like the arm for the PTO hitch, but it's molded into the casting. There's some nice details on the rear end transmission housing here. You can see bolt patterns and stuff, so that's not too bad. That's pretty cool. Of course, we got the classic John Deere cab, the bar cab, flat cab, flat fenders, flat hood, everything's flat. I always say this, but I can't help it. I love the design of the older tractors. They really appeal to me design wise. I mean, almost every model back then, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I love the designs of how they looked, and they made them very well, I thought. But the cab's pretty open, no glass in the cab, but it's pretty plain bones in there as far as it's a brown interior, brown seat, brown dashboard. Steering wheel looks almost like a gray color, I think. There's a little bit of details over here on the driver's right hand side with some molded into that plastic for like levers and stuff, controls, I'm guessing. But pretty much it's pretty straightforward little tractor. Up here on either front or on the back of the fenders, you will see some brake light flashers, I'm thinking, and the slow moving vehicle sign, of course, on the back. On the front of these fenders, either fender, there is a decal emulating lights, which all the lights and flashers and things on these tractors back then, they were all decals. Today though, like I've shown in previous videos, a lot of that is not decals, it's actual plastic insert, so that's nice. Just creates more detail. But it's nice in there in the cab nonetheless. They got little foot pedals that are in this plastic molding, so compared to today's detail, of course, this doesn't really hold up to that, but I didn't expect it to when I had it before, and I don't now. I know what it is, so it's pretty nice though. Over here they got like I guess this is a step to get in. It's only one little single platform here to get into the tractor. As far as the muffler, it runs up the side of the cab here from the engine. Runs up the side of the cab and exhaust right there by the cab. Well, I want to say the 60 series might have been the first series that the muffler ran up by the cab, or the 55 series. I think the 4850, the muffler still ran up through the hood, I think. I don't have a 4850 yet. I want to get one, but I don't have one yet. But the 55 or the 60 series, I think, was the first where the muffler ran up by the cab there, if I'm not mistaken. It's a nice little setup on this tractor. The engine, or underneath actually, let's talk about that first. You can see the drivetrain from the front to back axle. There's some nice little details with that anyway. That little detail there, that's nicely done, I think. What they done there, there's some nice little details on the box back here. So that ain't too bad really. As far as the engine, there's some, for this age of this tractor, nice little workings and casting of the engine detail there on either side of this tractor. They do a good job on that. I mean, when you consider the age of the tractor, it's pretty good actually. Then you of course got the classic vertical screens on either side of the engine panel here. That's a John Deere trademark almost, it seems. That's been on John Deere's forever. Just about. I mean, through the years. I don't think they carry them on there like they did back then, but it was a trademark. There's vertical screens on the side of either side of the engine compartment area. Of course, the decal runs from the cab area to the end of the hood. Starts out with black, solid black, says John Deere, then it trails off into yellow decal. Then the model number 4960 at the end of the hood is in yellow there. Then we get to the front here. There's a nice casting with this front weight, suitcase weights here on the front. And then of course you got your lights that wrap around the top of the grill and the John Deere, big John Deere logo on the front of the grill, and those are decals, of course. As far as the wheels and tires, the tires of course are rubber all the way around, and then the reverse, you know, the rear end has the dual wheels, which is pretty nice. They don't look too bad. The front wheels, of course, are the front wheel assist, four-wheel drive. Makes it four-wheel drive when you engage that. It's pretty nice. The actual wheel part, they are plastic, but on the rear wheel there, I think this was one of the first tractors they had ever had these deep dish type wheels on. I think this is the first one they ever had those deep disc type wheels, but they're really nice. They've got that real deep dish in there. Some nice bolt patterns in the center. When the little classic black cap, metal cap they used to put the wheels on. Now on the front wheel, same deal. It's got slots. It's got 6 slots around the exterior of the wheel that you can see through there. They're all the way through. And then there's some nice little definition on the inside of the wheel. But they're all plastic, but I'm actually okay with that. But it's amazing when those wheels are plastic or metal, or how much different it makes in the weight. Because this tractor ain't nearly as heavy as some of the newer ones I have where the wheels are all metal. So it makes a big difference in the weight of these things. Overall, this is a really nice tractor. And I remember having this tractor in my collecting in the 90s. Very fond, nice tractor, nicely done. The rear end, the underneath of it looks pretty good too there, especially the front end. Pretty nice. But for this age of this tractor, it was in the box. I think it had been in display mode, maybe. I wasn't sure, because it did have some dust in some areas. I tried to dust it off best I could, but the tires look like that, like cloudy kite color, but I don't mind the tires looking like that. I think it gives it a appeal of, you know, working in a field or something. So if the tires ever get dusty like that on me, I won't be cleaning off the tires. Probably not. It's a nice tractor though. Ertl did a good job recreating. I don't know if they've ever put out another 4960. I really don't know. I'm not sure. You would think they do one in the Prestige line. They did a 4455. They did a 4630. I've got that. They did a 4455, 4255, 4630, 4640. I've got that. I don't know if they did a 4840 or not in this line. I know they did in a Precision, I think, but Prestige line, I don't know. I would think this would be one they'd mark for the Prestige line eventually and do a re-release. That would be pretty cool, I think. This is a nice tractor. Almost 30 years old now, hard to believe. All right, everybody, I'll bring that camera closer so you guys can see this thing a little closer. I want to thank everybody that always tunes in and supports my channel. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a blessed day and stay safe, and I'll talk to you again soon.